Hourou minasan, this is Yuki, and today I have brought to you another special episode of anime recommendations. And today's topic is food. So I know this is something you must have been already familiar with, but there are some animes which focus on food making, food wars, and to start with, we'll be speaking about Food Wars, which is in Japanese Shokugeki no Soma. And Shokugeki no Soma has so far, I think, around 5 seasons. It's just a bit long anime, but it's really enjoyable. I think the concept is quite intriguing. I mean, you might think like this is a food anime, so it should be a slice of life. However, that's not so evident because in Shokugeki Soma it is a shonen anime. It's about an MC, typical shonen MC, who's fighting battles, winning, losing, making friendships, getting a power up by gaining some experience and learning from his enemies and people he meets. But it's incredibly fun because it's around food and the food making from different countries, different seasoning, different tastes, and it makes everything they make so mouth-watering. The idea of Shokugeki no Soma started with our main character Soma, who was a child. His father is a world-renowned chef. However, this world-renowned chef is not working in some five-star restaurant. He's actually holding a family restaurant in a small area in Japan. And there has been a lot of question marks since the beginning of the first episode. Why this world-renowned chef is holding family restaurant? Why is he not seeking to uphold his title and gain a lot of money? So I think I will leave that up to your curiosity while watching this show. I have also to make sure to warn you that this show has a lot of nudity tag, in the sense that so it's like they are taking a bit more literally the concept of food orgasm or something like this. But that's only the case, I would say, especially for season 1 and season 2. As you go on with from and like the end of season 2, season 3 and 4, you feel like there is less focus on the meaningless fan service or the exaggerated fan service to more story building, more character development for all the people you have met so far in that show, and also diving deeper into the real story. The other food related anime that I would like to recommend besides Shokugeki no Soma, we have here the two adventure anime. The first one is Campfire Cooking in Another Skill, in another word, My Absurd Skill, and the other one is Dungeon Meshi, or also called in English Delicious in Dungeon. And I highly recommend them because they are really fun and also really interesting animes. Usually they are also relaxing. You don't have a very complicated story, you don't have like dramatic moments. It's like a long weekend and you are tired from work or studies and you want just to rest, so you put one of these. So Campfire Cooking in Another Word, we have the main character Mikoda Tsuyoshi, who was like salaryman in Japan. Then he suddenly found himself in another world, but his only skill, literally the only thing he gained while being a Isekai, is that he can access supermarket in Japan. And he's fond of cooking, and he missed the Japanese food or other types of food he used to cook in the real world. So he goes on and he uses the points he gained from adventuring into buying items from the supermarket in Japan, and then he makes this really delicious mouth-watering meals for himself and also for Fel the Fenrir, who made a contract with him in order to eat this really delicious food, and also Sui, which is like a small slime here on his shoulder. I hope that you enjoy this show. The other one I would like to recommend is Dungeon Meshi, Delicious in Dungeon, with the main characters are Marcel, who's an elf, often compared to Frieren from another show. And beside Marcel there is Laus, who's honestly very deranged. I don't know how anybody managed to design such a weird character. Shilchak, the small guy here, but apparently he's 29 years old. And then you have Senshi, who's like a warrior, and who's the one who's coming up with this really creative ideas of cooking monsters. First of all, the ingredients are super disgusting, and they are really horrible. However, the way that Senshi makes them into such nutritional, balanced meals is always beyond my brain cells. Always. So I hope that you try them. I hope that you enjoy them too, because I'm enjoying them so far. Since Campfire Cooking Another Word, it was renewed for second season. We are still waiting for second season, and Dungeon Meshi is ongoing right now. So if you wanna start it, feel free to. The next food anime I would like to mention is Amaama to Inazuma. And Amaama into Inazuma is a story about this recently widowed teacher who's struggling to make some cute and also balanced lunchbox to his small kid. And that happens to be one of his students. She has a secret crush on him, and she realizes that he needs help with making this cute meals, so she volunteers to come and help him at any point, either in the cafe or their house, and they develop a very family-like cute moments. I think this is a family-friendly show. It's very relaxing, and also the romance doesn't go anywhere, so it's basically just slice of life. And I hope you enjoy it. Yeah, I'll put the name on the comments later on. The next one I would like to bring on, actually I almost missed it to mention Okashi Tensei, which is an Isekai anime about our main character Pastry, who actually in the original word was a very renewed patissiere, confectionist, and he was in the middle of a worldwide competition where he was trying to gain the title of best patissiere ever born at that century. However, what happens is that a big piece of art falls on his head during the competition, so he dies before actually gaining the title that he was fighting so hard for. And he finds himself reincarnated as a 10 years old boy in a middle class poor family, actually, like really poor family. And in this family he tries to start things from scratch, like he literally gets into farming, people management, politics, into raising knights, for the sole goal of having all the ingredients possible so one day he can get back into making sweets. Like, you might be thinking like, okay, now he's living medieval ages, so he should have grown out of his passion, because there's no flour, there's no sugar, there's no milk, there's no butter, there's no, I don't know, like advanced equipment for making sweets. But he hasn't given up at all. Like he's literally ready to do what it takes, even negotiating with kings and even making people get into big fights just so he can gain the ingredient that he's looking for in order to make like an apple pie or anything. It's a very funny anime. I think it has more depth to it than many others, in the sense that it's not just focused on how much Pastry loves sweets, which is the case, but also how far he would go in order to gain the materials in order to achieve his passion. I hope that you watch it, and then I'll move on to the next one. First example I would like to give is Yumeiro Patissiere, and also its sequel Yumeiro Patissiere Professional. And it starts with the main character Ichigo Amano, who absolutely has no skills in cooking. However, when she meets Professor Henry Lucas, he discovers that she has amazing tasting and smell skills, and he thinks she should definitely give it a chance, like becoming patissiere herself. And she goes to this well-known school and she starts learning things step by step. This anime, as far as I remember, has 63 episodes. However, you have to note that this is a bit of an older anime. In between, it was produced in 2008, 2009. So the animation might be a bit too old for you, but again, it's very enjoyable. Has really beautiful like food making process and confectionaries. It's very mouth-watering, and I think I enjoyed really getting to know these other characters slowly, because it's like a whole process. Like, she goes to this new place, meets all these people who are at first hostile or mocking her, and she gets to learn step by step. I think that was really fun. And now I can go and talk about the other one that I have on my list here, which is Bonjour Koiaji Love, which is Koiaji or Sweet Love Patisserie. I think it was originally an otome game, and they made from it the anime in order to, like, sell more otome games. Here it's about the main character Sayori Haruno, who started attending this elite confectionery school called Fleurir to fulfill her dreams. And in the process of her becoming like a well-known patissiere, she of course meets all these main leads with very different personalities and different specialities. Some of them are good at making chocolates, others Japanese sweets, others they make some really elaborated pieces. So you can enjoy your time while exploring the personalities and also the very beautiful drawings of these sweets. The last food related show that I would like to present to you today is Dagashi Kashi, and it's by the same creator as Call of the Night. And if you watch Call of the Night, you realize there are some uncanny similarities between the main character here, Nazuna, and also Haruno from Dagashi Kashi. And also another thing I have to let you know about is that Dagashi Kashi, it's mostly a commercialized show, in the sense that they will bombing you with loads of information about these traditional Japanese sweets that you can only find in local markets in countryside in Japan. And it actually can be pretty good in the sense that if you go one day to Japan and you are not intending on just spending all your money on like shorty cake or Kit Kats, whatever you have known through internet to be very popular in Japan, you might also take a little bit of notes from Dagashi Kashi and visit these really infamous areas and try some really original sweets or stuff they make there. And the thing is that although this is very educational because they really overload you with historical information about these sweets and how they are made and how they got developed and how did the idea come in and everything, it can overshadow a bit the plot and the characters. So you might have seen here there is the main lead Kokonatsu and his cousin Saya, and there is an extra weird character on the back, but you almost forget about them at some point because of how much eccentric and imposing Haruno's character is. And he would definitely find any kind of opportunities to give you information about these sweets, which is funny. But again, like I said, if you are here for the plot, you might not be in the right place. But if you are curious about this kind of strange Japanese local sweets, then just go ahead for it. It has 2 seasons, so if you feel like you haven't learned enough, there is a whole second season to learn more about these Japanese sweets. So thank you for following. Goodbye.